Hey, how y'all doing today? So, as you can probably tell by the title, this is a little bit more of a serious type of video, and probably by the tone of my voice you can also tell, but it is a video that needs to be made, and it's a video that I have been putting off for a few weeks now, maybe even a few months. But it's been on my mind for a while, and let's just get into it. The growing unrest against LGBTQ plus people and individuals. Of course, I got my list here, and I'm just gonna go into how I feel about it, where I'm coming from, my experiences, all that kind of, what we give on this channel, basically. So, for number one, I have our growth and our spotlight. Especially in 2023, in this past year, we've seen LGBTQ people kind of everywhere. Or at least maybe I've seen them everywhere, because I just am a fan of Beyonce and just a lot of LGBTQ media. I've been seeing a lot more of us on media and other places and TV shows and everything. But especially with Renaissance, what Beyonce did with Renaissance, I think they really put a spotlight just on our community, period. Especially the black part of our community, which is the part of the community that I kind of subscribe to more often than not. And it kind of reminds me of the instance with Pose, when we could tell when Ricky and Damon were, like, you know, finna go on tour with Madonna, and what's even crazy, Madonna was on tour this past year too, and it's just like a full circle moment. But the whole idea with that was, we're going to be a spectacle for this moment, but we're going to fall off again. And I don't think after Madonna back then, I don't think gay people necessarily fell off, but she definitely put a spotlight on us, but it wasn't, regardless, bad or good, I have seen us just more. I've seen us more, just period, just seen us in TV shows. There are so many, whether bad or good, love stories we have out now. We have movies out now that are getting critical acclaim and all this and that. Not saying that these are black people that they are portraying in these movies, but they are still LGBTQ people, and I still feel like that's a step forward, period. Just having us more in front of people, because I feel like the more we're in front of people, the more comfortable people can get with us, and the more people can empathize with our stories and just understand us better. And I feel like that would be better overall. But of course, we have people that don't want that to happen. For number two, I have the growing angst. So with all of that growth and all that positivity that we have going on, people growing on social media, doing good on YouTube and stuff, we also have this growing angst that I'm starting to notice, and that's what most of this video is really truly about. I'm not gonna lie, I know it's not good to go in your comment section, but I mean, not that I be getting comments like that often, but other people get comments like that, especially on Instagram. I've noticed that a lot, especially which is crazy, because Instagram is the app that's talking about bullying and harassing and will take your shit down real quick. But I'm seeing all these hate comments, and I feel like, before I get into it, I feel like these algorithms, they can be very problematic, because I can tell that they are purposely putting stuff on people's pages that they wouldn't normally like or wouldn't normally go towards, and they know that that's gonna prop up engagement, they know that's gonna prop up hate and all this and that. You're putting a trans woman that's living in her identity on 10,000 homophobic people's For You pages or feeds. You're gonna have a comment section full of hate. And that's what we see a lot with Meta, and that's what I see a lot with Meta, and that's part of the reason why I've been trying to slow down a little bit with social media, and just slowing down just in general with just being on my phone and stuff, because even though a lot of those comments are geared towards other individuals and other creators and stuff, they still connect to me, because when you're talking about one person in my community, you talking about me too, and that's just how I feel about it. And that's not the healthiest thing, and that's part of the reason why I've had to take a break to the point. The growing angst. So, like I was saying, people online I'm starting to notice a growing angst for LGBTQ people, just the way people are saying things. I'm going to insert some comments if I have any, because I'll be screenshotting for different purposes, but I'll be screenshotting these comments, y'all. Politics. I'm noticing that politicians are basically using our community as a way to get more individuals on their side and more individuals on the ballot for them, or just not on the ballot, but more people voting for them and voting for the things that they want to happen. And TS put me onto this in a sense, where T.S. Madison, where she basically was saying, like, in these bills that are majority, the gotcha, the getcha is the LGBTQ and that's what gets everybody hyped up about it and wanting to vote against it or vote for it, because people don't like LGBTQ people. But underneath it, you have all these things that affect cis hetero people, cis black people, all, like, just as well as it affects trans people, just as well as it affects gay people. And that's a problem. Religion, we all know about religion and how even apart from religion, even in the spiritual realm, where I would think that community would be a little bit more freeing, sometimes we get the people that's like, oh, it's just not natural, just overall, like, I agree with all this and that, but it's just overall, it's just not natural. I just can't get with it because it ain't natural. Bitch, it's not your life. But media, TV shows, people that don't like something, they're going to get a lot more angry when they see it in media. Take The Color Purple, for example. We see all the people that wanted to come on the internet as soon as they watch a movie. I personally had a story on my podcast that I talked about these girls that were in the movie, talking the whole movie. But where especially, of course, I think we all kind of had this experience if you went to go watch The Color Purple, the new adaptation, where people had a reaction when Silly and Suge kissed, and when that whole thing just transpired, their relationship, they showed it more like that, like what was in the book. And of course they did that and all this and that. So I like to look at it all like a pendulum, or pendulum, however you say it. I'm gonna say pendulum for the purpose of the video, so I don't have to do all that getting up and but a pendulum, just as far as it goes this way, it can come back. It's not gonna come back as hard, but it's definitely gonna come back. And I feel like the pendulum is slowly but surely is gaining momentum and it's making its way back. We see this with the anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. That's the biggest one. We see this in people's violence or promises of violence on the internet. This is something that has always gone on, don't get me wrong, but I'm starting to notice a lot more boldness with it. I'm starting to notice a lot more big baldness with it. Like, people are very comfortable. A lot of homophobic, transphobic, anti-LGBTQ plus people are very bold and they have a lot of gall. And I'm, as an LGBT person, noticing this on the internet. I'm sure y'all noticing it too, just like the growing angst. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's just social media, it's just social media, it ain't real, this ain't real life, that ain't real life, that ain't real life. But what I want people to realize is, even though this is not real life, touch skin, 3D reality, this shit that y'all discussing, the conversations that are being had, that doesn't go away out of people's heads. The bullying that y'all do to people, it doesn't just go away. I mean, I'm sure we learn how to cope with it and we learn how to ignore different stuff, but that doesn't just go away in the blink of an eye. Stuff sticks with us on the internet. We know with the viral trends, everything about the internet is made, stuff is made to go viral, stuff is made to cause conversation, but overall, we're experiencing a lot of our lives more now on the internet than before. And that's going to inherently stick with us, basically. And with it sticking with us, and with it sticking with other people, these bold people that are getting very bold on the internet, that is going to, y'all don't think that's going to transfer over to our 3D world? I mean, we see it all the time. We see hate crimes all the time. Of course, the media doesn't cover it all the time. Well, they don't cover it most of the time, actually. But there are TikTok creators out there that are giving us this coverage of trans people that are being slain in the streets, slain and all kinds of stuff. And then with that, even with that sentiment, I see in the comments still people just having no empathy towards people like me and trans people and all that. Just being glad, like hurrahing about the death of someone or the slaying of someone. And I think that is very crazy. And I think that is, as a human, that is very alarming to me. When I see stuff like that, some people may be like, it's just the internet, but I see it as, oh, like, y'all for real, like, y'all, something is building up. I feel the tension. I know y'all are probably feeling the tension growing too. Basically, there's a growing angst. And we've seen it with hate crimes just last year. I can't remember his name, but just that instance in particular shows to me that this shit is getting scary. No more can we have the days where people are ignorant about us. No more can we allow people to continue to joke about us. And that's the point that I want to talk about too. The jokes, the little minor, microaggressive, all the little jokes against LGBTQ people. Why I don't personally like them, and why I will always stand up for my community when y'all get these little jokes that even some of the gays and girls be laughing at, thinking it's funny. Oh, it's just a joke. No, it's not just a joke. Just a joke builds up. Just a joke. For people that's not educated and don't have the knowledge, a joke is building their whole thesis on LGBTQ people, for lack of better words. Their whole perception of LGBT people is from these jokes, from these bad things that people say about us. They don't know us. They are not knowledgeable of us. So those jokes are little microaggressions of hate. Just like my black people, y'all experience this too. The little microaggressions. Even though a lot of y'all homophobic to us as well, y'all know what a microaggression is. And that's why I don't like the little jokes and shit. And that's why I'm gonna stand up, basically. Because there is this growing angst. And a lot of people are very ignorant. And a lot of people, especially in America, there's this idea of, especially this masculine energy of standing 10 toes down on what you believe in and willing to fight for it, willing to even kill for it, you know, do a lot of things to achieve your version of the American dream. And for a long time, people like me aren't included in that American dream. People like me are the death of that American dream to y'all. And people like me therefore need to be extinct. A lot of people think that. A lot of people think that we need to die. We need to be sent to the with the electric chair and all that shit. Like, we are put on the same, I wouldn't even say pedestal, because we're put on the same, I'll say pedestal for lack of better words again, as pedophiles, criminals, violent criminals. We are put on the same pedestals just for being ourselves, just for living in our truth and just being ourselves. We're not hurting nobody. What Beyonce said, she ain't trying to hurt nobody. She's just trying to do the best she can. Yeah. She just trying to do the best she can. Happy on her own. With her friends without a man. Okay. We just trying to do the best we can. Just like y'all trying to do the best y'all can. And it's harder to do the best we can when we have people judging us and stopping us at every point. we can't get this particular job because whatever, discrimination, we can't do this, we can't do that. We can do these things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not in the mindset of just sitting down and taking it, but we realize that we have a lot fewer options just because we want to be ourselves and be happy just like everybody else. And number 3, I'm not trying to fearmonger y'all, I'm not trying to scare y'all, but it's getting very serious out here. The tension is getting very heavy, especially on the other side. And we've talked about the other side. We know what the other side is. And they're about to start coming for us. I'm letting y'all know now. They have always came for us, but that pendulum is coming. Slowly, heavily, and surely it is coming back the other way. As many steps as we take forward, we're gonna have to, there's a few steps that's finna have to be taken back, because people aren't knowledgeable, people aren't understanding, and somebody that doesn't understand, they're gonna do ignorant people things, and ignorant people do things like start wars and kill and do all this and that. And I'm not saying just kill, just not a justified kill. I'm talking about a kill because you don't like somebody, or a kill because of some stupid shit that don't matter. That's the type of things that ignorant people do, because they're not knowing. They can't have the empathy. They don't want to express that empathy, at least towards certain demographics of people, because they've been taught that it's okay to do that. We've been taught that it's okay to be violent towards feminine beings. We've been taught that it's okay to be feminine towards trans and gay beings. And you might get in a little trouble, but often than not, you might not even get in trouble for it. You're getting in trouble a lot more in 2020, past 2023, it's 2024 now. But people notice that, and people don't care a lot of times because they have that much hate towards us. And what I'm trying to warn y'all of is, I hate feeling like this, but every day I have the fear that I'm going to get hate crimes. I haven't just film, like extremely film. No, I'm gonna say extreme film, but y'all know what the type of stuff I'll be wearing. I haven't dressed that way in public in a while, and that's not I think that's subconsciously because of that fear that someone's gonna do something to me. Because my thing was, when it was just talking, I can deal with talking all day, but when it starts to become physical, when people pulling out guns and knives and all that, at this point my life is in danger, just for being myself, just for wearing certain things. And I think subconsciously I've took that in. I don't think people understand, like, being black and gay, I'm 22 now. Like, I've learned to deal with the black side, but to then have even more people against you, people that look like you being against you as well, that almost pretty much doubles that number that just black people experience. But then to be black and trans, to be black and gay, and to have your own community, your own people around you, the places where we live, the places where we gain community, to have those people hate you and want to be violent towards you, you don't feel safe anywhere. And people don't understand that. And again, I'm not trying to scare y'all, but for number 4, we need to start protecting ourselves. We live in a country where we can bear arms, if you will. We can do certain stuff to protect ourselves just as well as. And I'm a person that don't like guns. I don't like firearms. I don't like that. I just don't like it. I don't like being in a room with them. They make me uncomfortable. And maybe y'all can say that's my ignorance, but I just don't. I don't like them. And the way the world is going right now, whenever I get the money and the means, like, I'm considering purchasing and burying myself with this thing that I am deathly afraid of. If I'm deathly afraid of this item, and I'm purchasing it to protect myself, what do you think? How do you think the world around me is going for me to feel that way, to want to get this thing that I don't even like myself, and it scares me? I don't like the feeling of having to have a weapon, or thinking about having to have a weapon, and then thinking about having to possibly use it to protect myself, to protect my life, and to stay alive. That is fathomable, but I don't like having to. That's a scary thought for me. And like I have in parentheses, you have to protect yourselves. We shouldn't have to protect ourselves just for being ourselves. And I know this video was all around and I kept repeating certain stuff, but I really needed to, if you're watching to this point, I really needed to sink in. We shouldn't have to protect ourselves from the people that look like us, the people that even raised us, the people that we went to school with, the people that we're on social media with, the people that we're just surrounded with, that we don't have no choice but to be surrounded with because we're all humans. We shouldn't have to feel like we have to protect ourselves from everybody, even the people that we trust sometimes. But like I'm saying, this is a warning. This is just this is a warning. I don't know what's going to happen. I felt this on my heart to share this, but this is a warning, y'all. Like, be extra careful. And I know it's not fun, it's not cool to hear that every so often, but this is coming from one of you, one of us. I know it don't hit the same when it comes from straight people. It's kind of alarmed, like, what you mean protect yourself? What you mean be safe? But really and truly, be safe. And I'm one that is sometimes a rebel, and I like to make people mad sometimes. I like to wear my crop tops outside because I know it's gonna make people mad sometimes. Sometimes I just want to be cute. But I like making people mad because that's me taking my power back. That's me saying you're going to respect me. You're going to look at me because I'm here. And you can't make me hide, but because that's what I've been made to do my whole life, from my parents, from people around me. I've been made to hide. I'm not finna hide. You finna see this body. You finna see this skin. You about to get into it. You about to get into all the cutness. All of it. You about to get into it. You about to get into it. Because, and I think that's the part that people don't understand about us sometimes. Like, we've been made to hide ourselves. So, once we finally find the courage to show ourselves, bitch, we gonna show ourselves, and bitch, you are going to watch. Whether you like it or not, I don't give a fuck. I've had to watch y'all asses do what y'all be doing and say shit about people like me. I'm about to be myself. But with me being myself comes the possibility that someone is gonna do some heinous towards me. I already feel that way just with being black. It's crazy to think I can step outside my door and get hate crime in a community that looks like me. That's like really wild to me. In closing, I just want to say, continue to educate. Continue to not let those microaggressive jokes and all that stuff. Continue to speak up for each other, because we need that most of all. We need to be speaking up for each other most of all. We need to speak up for each other. Most of all. And we need to protect each other, because nobody else is protecting us. Nobody else is protecting us. It's us against the world. And if it's you by yourself, it's you against the world. And I want you to have those happy days. I want you to be yourself. But I want you to also be prepared and be ready. And that's why I'm giving you this warning now. To be prepared. Don't be frivolous. Be frivolous. Because we gay. Be frivolous. But don't be frivolous. Don't be ignorant. Be prepared, basically. Be yourself, but be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. And it's not to say live your life in fear. Because that's what I'm still trying to escape from. Even though I've had this whole Scissor F fear, all that. Like, I'm still working on, because being afraid for your life is a different type of fear. That's a whole different level of fear. And it's not even far-fetched to be afraid for your life living this life. It's not far-fetched. And that's the part about it. But I just want to say I love y'all. It's sad that I can become friends with people and meet people and get to know people, or don't even get to know people and just know people that look exactly like me, probably had some of the same exact experiences like me, can be killed today, can be killed tomorrow, just for looking the way they look, talking the way they talk, twisting their hips the way they twist their hips, and just being themselves like everyone else is, or everyone else is trying to be, or at least acting like they are. But I love y'all. And by any means necessary, obtain the means to protect yourself, whatever that looks like. And I'm being very serious. Very serious. Be very cautious of people. Very, very cautious, because your life matters. And that's what we have to do. But that's all. I'll see y'all soon. I know I always say that, but I'll see y'all soon. This took a lot of my energy out. I wasn't expecting that, and I was expecting to be a lot more poignant and hitting my points. And I even choreographed like a little cry scene, because when I was just thinking about this whole thing, I was just like, what if I shed a little tear? I wanted that moment to come where I was about to share a tear, but my voice cracked up a little bit. I guess that's enough to evoke the emotion. But I'm serious about this topic. And I guess I probably didn't cry because I'm on camera, and I cried on camera before, my second video to be exact. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all again later. I hope to see you tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next month, and the next year. And I hope you continue to grow. I hope you continue to live your truth. If the options are the cutoff shorts or the baggy jeans where the cutoff shorts show the ass cheek. If your options are a baggy tee or a crop top, wear the crop top. I'm not playing with you, bitch. You're a cunt, and you know you're a cunt. So act accordingly, bitch. And just if you're dealing with some struggles with certain stuff and just having to live through a certain situation at this moment because of your circumstances, we can talk. I know what it's like. I can relate. Email me, whatever. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. But yeah, see y'all later. Bye.